Well, guys, it's a new toy day. So, without further ado, let's open this bad boy up. All right. So, what I got here, guys, is my new digital rack mounted mixer. Now, this is the PreSonus Studiolive SE R32. Now, what this is it's a digital mixer, just like the mixer I have right over there, but it's a rack mounted and it's digital. This one has 32 inputs. That one only has, my bad, it has 16 inputs, but 12 XLRs, and then the other 4 are TR or TRS inputs that are split mono stereo channels. But this has 32 combo jack, XLR, and TRS inputs. And this is something I've been looking forward to getting for a while now. Now let's go ahead and open this bad boy up. We got the green knife, and just like always, remember, guys, to cut away from yourself. All right, now, I ordered this from Sweetwater, and it came in a bigger box at my parents' house, and my parents, for some reason, my mom thought this was hers and opened it up, but no, guess not. So anyways, so I got the box here. Let me grab my GoPro. All right, guys. So, all right, guys. So here we go. Let's open up this bad boy. Okay. Ooh. All right. So as you guys can see, we got power cable right here. Just drop that down right there. We got directions, some stickers. That's cool. And we got the unit right there in styrofoam. Looks like the front is facing towards me. So let's go ahead, take this unit out, and put it right here. All right, guys, so this right here is the PreSonus Studiolive 32R SE. Put the SE in front of the 32R. And like I said, this is a digital rack mixer that has 32 combo jack inputs and 16 mix outs with a main left and right. And this right here is the newer version. The original version is just the Studiolive 32R, no SE. But this one has some added features to it, which is why I went with this one over the original one. I've been needing a digital rack mixer for a while now, and I was heavily looking at going for the 32, the Studiolive 32R, but when this one came out, I was like, ooh, I'm happy I waited. Let us go over the features that we have here that we can see, and then we'll dive into what you can do with this, and then we'll dive into setting this up, i.e. throwing it into my rack, and then going about a setup. So it's going to be quite a fun day. But I'm going to have to break it up. Unfortunately, I have to take my dog to the vet. I think she needs surgery. But anyways, her appointment is in like 4 hours. So let's just quickly go over what we see here at the front and in the back. And then we will be able to get to that. I'll be able to take care of my puppy for a little bit. Okay. So guys, on the front of this unit, you can see that we have 24 combo jack XLRs, so which are marked line and mic inputs. So, we can input up to 24 microphones or line level inputs. In 2 rows of 12. So that is really cool. The other 8 are on the back, and we'll get to that momentarily. Moving on, we have a mute all button, which allows us to mute all of the inputs. We have a headphone input with a knob right here that we use to control the output of the headphone mix, and it's really nice. Then we have lights that indicate play, record, power, and control. Sorry, I don't have my lapel mic on. But yeah, so we have 4 lights that indicate play, record, control, and power. And then we have an SD card slot. And that is one of the major reasons why I went for this unit. Now, on the back here, like I said, we have the additional 32, the additional 8 inputs for the 32 inputs, and inputs 31 and 32 can be split up into TR input. And we have the main outs left and right. And then we have 16 mix output. So not only do we have a main, so if we were going to use this as our main mixer and run a PA system to it, boom, we have the left and right there. But we also have up to 16 outputs, and this is used for like in-ear monitors and things like that. So if you're going to have running in-ears out of this, and you are going to have stereo in-ears, you could do up to 8 stereo mixes. If you're going to do just monos, you can have up to 16 mono mixes. So that's cool. Moving on, next we have a audio network input. Then, as you guys can see, we have this nice sticker, but underneath the sticker is a control and a USB input. And then, of course, we just have the IEC power cable, and then the power switch right here. And that's it. That is all the features and that we see on the outside. Now, with that being said, we're going to take a quick break because, like I said, I got to get my dog ready to go to the vet. Like I said, from what I've been told, she tore her equivalent to a human's ACL, so we got to take her to the vet, and she might need surgery. But when we get back from that, while she's doped up and on bed rest, will be time to input this into the rack and then get everything started. So, without further ado, here we go right now. All right, guys. I just got back from the veterinary clinic, and turns out my dog is going to need surgery. So, yay for that. She's effectively torn her muscle off her leg, like I said, or maybe I didn't say, I can't remember. But she effectively has an ACL tear. Anyways, when I came home, there's another box here. So let's just quickly open this. Luckily, I still have the green knife right here. And like right here. All right, and what do we have here? Ooh. A nice universal microfiber cloth with a picture. 80 years world finest guitar parts. Oh, okay. Okay. Yeah. All right. So, uh, I got two pairs of Schaller locking S-locks. These are for my bass, the Harley Benton. So, okay. These came in. Let's just real quickly open these, see what they look like. There's a little tab here at the bottom, so I don't have to cut it open. Oh, that's nice. Let me turn on my GoPro. So look at those. It's kind of nice. It's kind of nice. I got two of these because I'm going to be putting these are going on the Harley Benton, and then I got another set right there that are exactly the same. There, it's going to go on another bass, and then just this microfiber cloth. That's neat. It's neat. Okay. But let's get back to the main focus here, which is the digital rack mixer. All right. So, got the digital rack mixer right here. Like I said, the PreSonus Studiolive SE 32R. Now, the first thing that we are going to want to do is, or that you should do, is register and do the software downloads. So let's go ahead and do that right now. Okay, so as you guys can see right here, we are on the PreSonus website. So we're going to go and log in. If you don't have an account, doesn't take that, it's not that hard to make one. I'm already logged in. And to go about registering your product, go online and register it. And when you register it with PreSonus/vendor here, you're able to download all the stuff as, right there in big, bold, register product. Anyways, so you would click that. So we go here to the view product. And as you guys can see, okay, we got the universal control for Windows, which is what we're going to need. So we're going to download that. Got to download Capture for Windows. 40 channel digital rack mixer with 32 onboard X Max R recallable preamps, 16 flex mixes, 4 dedicated subgroups and FX mixes, 24 DCAs, multi-track USB plus stereo SD recording, and Melilla certified AVB integrative for live mixing, in-ear monitor rigs, and recording. So let's go ahead and, I got the serial number right there, which is, what you had to do. But let's go ahead and let's just download this, download that, and that's the latest version. Okay. And while those are being downloaded, we're going to go ahead and I'm going to plug this into my computer. We're going to go ahead, take the cable. Oh, this might need to get closer. Let's see how long this cable is. All right, it's a pretty long cable. Oh, finish. Cool. It's a pretty long cable, but I think I might have to move the mixer closer to my computer. Now, you want to install the capture and the control before plugging in your mixer, so that way everything that way you can just automatically update it and get things going. So now I have right here the quick starter guide, which is nice, which is very nice. But if you want the actual user manual, you'll have to download it from online and whatnot. So yeah. Anyways, let me see. Let me see if I can get a nice sticker pull. Boom. Got this off. All right. Now all this is saying right here is we got 3 easy steps. For, step 1 is go to mypersonus.com, create or log onto your MyPreSonus user account, register your product serial number, download and install your device driver's Studio One software and owner's manual. So, okay. Now, let me see really quickly. Okay, so I got universal control and capture 3 right there. Okay. So, I guess it's time to what am I doing? Guess it's time to plug in my the Studiolive. So let me just quickly what am I thinking? Let me just quickly grab a stool to move this closer to my computer. I can't think and talk right now. All right. All right, so we know that this USB is the USB cable that gets plugged into the computer. So we're going to go ahead, log that in. All right, guys. So I got the Studio 32R plugged in to the computer and everything. So let's real quickly go and set this up. So the first thing I'm going to do is click on the Universal Control app. Now, unfortunately, my computer, for some reason, when I do the screen capture, does not allow me to capture the just my regular desktop. And it doesn't follow me from window to window. So give me a little moment. I have to open it up here first, and then I can start the screen capture and show you what I did. All right. So as you guys can see right here, I got the Universal Control, I guess Fender Universal Control app open. Now I had to register the 32, the Studiolive 32R. It says 32R here, but I have the SE. Anyways, I had to register it. I did that all, off camera, so you guys didn't have to see it. But very simple. The first thing to do to check for updates, just hit the update all. And as you guys can see, it's checking for updates. The reason why it says update all, from what I've been reading, is that if you have more than one piece of equipment registered here, you could check that specific piece of equipment for updates, or the update all button would still be there. But because I only have one piece of equipment, there is no oh, do it for just the 32R or do it for like 16R, 24R. I just have the update all button. And that also reminds me, this is the Studiolive SE 32R, which is the newest version of this thing right here, which is the Studiolive 32R. Now, also, these come in two other formats. We got the 24R and the 16R. And it's pretty much the exact same thing on all three, on all of them. The only difference is the number of inputs and the number of outputs. And then whatever the difference is between the SE and the regular Studiolive. So, okay, we're updating the firmware. So this is good, as you guys can see. Initial firmware, blah, 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 receiving, reboot, and it's updating. So we are making moves. This is great. So I'm just going to cut to when this is done. So yeah. All right, guys, we are done with the update. So now, how do we go to set this up like internally and do all that stuff? So there's a couple of ways how you can work this and set it up. We got the desktop, which is what I'm doing right here. And then there's a couple of apps that you can do it like on a tablet or on a phone. So they're all pretty much the same. There are a couple of specific things that work with the app that I'll get to later. But first, we're going to do it on the desktop. So first thing you do is you just click this right here. And that brings you here to the ideal setup. Now, like I said, I've been messing with this a little off screen just to make sure I got everything right. And as you guys can see here, I have this set up for one of my old bands, and Came Back Brutal. But you guys can go check out all of our stuff right here. And yeah, we were a deathcore band, I want to say, in the early 2000s or late 2000s, early 2010s. So yeah. But as you guys can see right here, okay, we have Scott vocals, Eric vocals, Peter guitar, Frank guitar, my bass, and then all of Eric's different drums, my top and bottom snare, regular kick inside his porthole, a sub kick. He had 3 toms, 2 floor toms, 1 floating, the overheads, our backing track, click tracks, and talkback. Now, this is all set up and everything like that, but you're probably wondering, how do I set everything up? Well, let's go about doing that first. Now, the first thing we're going to do is, the first thing I need to do is set up a completely new new mixing. Okay, so I'm just going to go here and go to, well, first of all, this is, I guess, the recall area where I have it saved and Came Back Brutal under bands. You can store presets, so you can always call back to them. I just click reset, click yes, and we'll see right here, this will go to none. Boom. Now I click this X. Boom, everything's all zeroed out. Now, of course, if I just wanted to pull that back up, of course, click right back here, click back on and Came Back Brutal, click recall, and boom, and Came Back Brutal, boom, and we're all back. Okay, enough of this. Let's actually get to work. So, as you guys can see here, we have all 32 channels right here, right? And then we have our effects and our auxiliary outs and our digital and talkback. So, the first thing you're going to want to do is you are going to want to figure out what you're inputting and things like that, of course. And then you're going to want to assign them to each of the channels. Now, very simply, okay, input 1 on the rack on the mixer goes to channel 1. Input 2, channel 2, 3, the 3, 4, the 4, and so on and so on. Now, let's say we want to change something up. Well, that is, you just click on this, right? And then you just click up here if you want to name it, and boom. Now, I'm going to, how am I going to do this? Okay. All right, I am going to label these first 4 channels. I'll do the first one on screen, and then I'll go through and label the other 2. Now, just to make this as simple as possible, and for example, I'm going to use another one of my old bands called Ashes Ashes, and that was a 4-piece band. So, our singer, her name was Natalie. So I'm just going to put Nat for now. And then let's say I want to add a logo, a picture, a symbol. So we go up here, we click this gear button, and you can see we have all brass, drums, guitars, keyboards, others, and whatnot. So I'm going to click all. Excuse me. So you guys can get a nice view of everything. I really do like that beard. Get everything here. Okay. But knowing that, we're going to go here, the vocals. So, and we're just going to go lead vocals for Natalie. This right here is your color. So let's just give her, I don't know, orange. Boom. Nat is orange. Input. It's on analog, which is straight into the mixer with the first thing. We got network, which is over that network cable. We got USB. And then we have SD card, where if you're running something off the SD card, that's how you do it. But we're going to go right here, and we're going to go to analog. Now we have pre and post. Okay. For now, I'm just going to leave this on pre fader, post fader. So, and when I say fader, I mean like these main faders right here. Boop, 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 boop. Now, pre-fader means when you make adjustments to this fader when it goes out to like the front of the house or anything like that, this does not affect what you did. If you have it click post, this will affect what you hear. So like, let's say we have it right here at negative 822 dB. If I were to move it down on post fader, whatever we would hear, that would affect it. Put it back to, was it like 822? Whatever, 807. But if I go to pre-fader, I move this, it doesn't affect what I hear. So, but we're just going to leave it on pre for now. And so, yeah, that's how you set up one of these. We'll quickly go back to here. Okay, got it highlighted going out the mains. This is our gain right here. So now the difference between, now this is how you adjust the volume. This is also how you adjust the volume. This is how you adjust the volume going from after you're finished processing everything and sending this out to the main mix. This is adjusting the volume or the gain coming into the channel. This is a high pass filter. This is a delay. Clicking this, having this highlight means this is going to the main channel. Click that, it's no longer going to the mains. And then these right here are your effect channels or subgroups. With them click, just like with the main, with them clicked on, boop, they go to that. With them clicked off as is, they don't go to that. Then we have a phantom power. We have flip the polarity right here. And then this button is a link. So if you wanted to stereo link them, right? Boom, go like this. Boom. As you guys can see right here, it went from NAT to 2 to 3 to now NAT to channel 3, stereo link. And now we can do panning right here. Unlink that. Boom. No, we can no longer do Oh, I guess we can still do panning. That's cool. And then we got the solo, mute button, solo here. This just by itself. Mute, obviously, is that. So, this copied. That's cool to know. That copied after linking it. Okay. With that being said, let me quickly go ahead and do the other 3 channels off screen, and then we'll get back into this. All right, guys. So as you see, I went through and just quickly made a 4-piece band for us. So we got Natalie, the singer, Justin, guitarist, me on bass, and Amador was our drummer. All right, so now we got this all set up. Let's just real quickly. Now, the first thing we're going to do, we're going to go back to Natalie. Click here. And I think this, yeah, okay, this works better to select the channel by clicking down here rather than clicking like up here. I mean, maybe if you, okay, yeah, that doesn't select the channel, but still. Okay. So as you guys can see, when you select a channel, okay, we got everything we need here, and then we got this section up here. Now, what we have here is we have a gate, a compressor, an equalizer, and a limiter. Now, for me personally, for vocals, and unfortunately, it's just me today, so I can't really go through everything and like set it up how I want to. But like, in order to activate this, you just click the gate, and I'm not so sure if you guys saw, but this little line right here, this little line that says G, that that activated. Boom, boom. This right here, the line above it, that's for the compressor. Bow. And then, so we come up here and we can adjust these things. Now, I got this microphone right here. Let me go ahead, plug it into input 1. As you guys can see, just by talking here, it's picking it up. But as you guys can see right here, okay, got the pre-fader up, turn it down, nothing coming on. So this is the gain right here. Now, like I said, we have a gate. So I put the gate on, and now the gate is actually working. Unfortunately, I don't have this hooked up to anything, so you can't really hear it. But you guys can just see, like, we'll turn the threshold. And I like this because it actually shows you, what it's doing right there. And, quick attack, slow release, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So then we got a compressor. We can turn that on. Boom. And just like it like that. Now we have an equalizer, and we have post, pre, and RTA. I like the RTA on because you can see where this is going. And then we have lows, low mid, and high. And you can just drag and drop this around like wherever you want it. Blah, 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 blah. Turn off RTA and you're not going to see it. Turn it back on. And like I said, pre and post fader. So that lets you know what's going on. And then, of course, we have, let's turn this on. Boom. And then, of course, we have a limiter. And what the limiter does is it pretty much cuts off the signal, so that way you do not overexert yourself. So boom, we got that. And you can see the EQ graph right here. That's cool. And then we want to send this to the main, so we turn this up and at the main, and we should go up here to the main, click this up, and boom, you can see it right there. Now it's coming out the main. Awesome. Now, like I said, if we wanted to send this through like some of the effects, let's just go ahead, click A, and you're probably wondering, where are the effects? Well, you just go right here, click the effects. Now, this is one of the things that I've heard that, once again, I have the 32, and you guys can see we got 1, 2, 3, 4 different effects channels. Now, I've heard the 16 only has 2 different effects channels, and then I would assume that the 24 has anywhere from 2 to 4. But I would just like to assume 3, because if the 16 has 2, the 32 has 4, it would just make sense. So, let's just say, so we got right here, we have a digital XL reverb, a digital XL reverb, a stereo delay, and a stereo delay. Now, under the XL reverb, we got this right here, and we got a large room, small room, little presets, large hall, dark hall, large room, blah, 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 right? So, a cathedral. So let's say we go to a cathedral. Now over here, let's say we don't want this digital XL reverb. Well, you click this drop-down menu, and now, as you guys can see, we have another digital reverb, and it looks different. A P16. We have a 335 digital reverb, and a vintage digital reverb. I kind of like that. So let's go over here to see the vintage. We have a mono delay, which is the same thing, stereo delay, ping pong delay, chorus, and a flanger. So I'm going to leave this one on stereo delay and put this one to chorus. All right. So now we got what we want. So we come over here, or we come back, click the effects button, and we see that we got A, which once again was our digital reverb. But let's say we also want chorus on here. So now we click D, bow. And now this is running through all of this right here, as you guys can see right here, but you can't hear it. All right, cool. Now, you're looking at this button. What is this GEQ? Well, this right here is actually like an EQ, a graphic EQ, GEQ, graphic EQ. And one of the cool things about this is you can just come here and just make changes, boop, 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 to the certain frequencies, wow. And you have that going. All right. So we have our graphics EQ, we have our effects. We have, like I said, the phantom power, the polarity. You know what? Let's turn on the high pass filter a bit. Boom, and you can see it right there. Turn that on just a bit. Right. So we got now, of course, you would do this for all these channels. That's cool. All right. So now, let's see. We got that. What's this square button do? Okay. So this is your project scenes page, where, like I said, you can sit here and make presets. So in order to save a preset, what you need to create a project file. And what a project file does is it saves all of these right here. Now, I already have one for bands, as you can see right here. Got my first band, and Came Back Brutal. And all of these presets right here are set the same. Now, you go over here to the scenes, and this is where you can have everything that's under here. So like bands, and you can make it over here. So let's just go right here, click store, and we're going to call this Ashes. Let's spell properly here. Ashes, ashes. Boom. And we click save. Ashes, ashes, ashes. Now, this is like bands. Now, I'm using this primarily as in-ears. This is going to be my main mixer for my IEM rig. But let's say I wanted to do something for like live record. Let's say I wanted to use this mixer as my interface to record stuff, because you can use this as an interface. then I would come here, boom, and I would write something like recording songs. And then I would click save, and then just like it did on this side, boom, it would make something, a new section, a new project, and then that way I could have like all my songs recorded there. So I'm just going to cancel that, right? Boom. Bands, Ashes, Ashes, and then came back Brew. So up here we got import and export. As you guys can see, mixer, internal, and CD/DVD drive F. Okay, so you click bands, boom, boom, and that allows you to import and export whatever you want. Got scene safe, which I'm going to have to go a little bit more into details on that about this, but yeah, so that's that. In order to get out of this, you just click this X button again. Now, let's see. Let's continue really quickly with the settings. Boom. Now, the settings is very simple, right? We have our settings up here, right? Our general settings, that's what I meant to say, right? You got primary device permission. So what am I using? I am using my desktop PC, right? It's able to do front of house, nothing, like all auxiliaries, aux 1 all the way through 16. I'm just leaving it as on front of house because that allows me to take care of everything. Access code, boom. Like if you want to change your access code, you can just so that way certain people can only connect to it. So by default, your access code is just 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 on all of them. So just going to cancel that. And then as you can see right here, name, type, source, you can click that whether or not you want it to do it or not. Boom. Device mode, we have mixer, fat channel, sends, meters. And I'm just going to keep it on mixer because that's how I like it, but that's how you can change that. And then, you got your systems and whatnot. Network. Now, this is awesome because you can, like I said, there is an app for this that you can use a tablet or your phone with. The one I have is QMix-R, something like that. It's this one right here. Anyways, right? You use this network. You use your network in order to connect to the device, which means you need a router. The router does not have to be connected to the internet. You just need this connected to a router so it has a way to communicate with a tablet or a phone. Backup, mixer backup, legacy scenes. Very, very simple. Save, backup your settings, restore them in case something happens. User profile. Administrator, you can make different profiles and things like, a beard. Beard, thumbs up, yeah. You can just do that, default project, blah, 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 admin. And then digital patching. If you want to like change up your patch bays, boom, that's how your routing or whatnot, do it right here. For now, I'm just leaving this all the same. And that's your settings tablet right there. Now, let me see. Did we go over this? Okay. Here we go. This setting, right? And we're still using channel 1. So Natalie, as you can see it right here, I'm talking. Now, this right here is how you do a little bit more tweaking. So as you can see, we have a recall filter. So we have a gate, a comp, and an EQ. Click that button, right? Channel types, preamps, polarity, name, blah, blah, blah. You can do all that. Just going to leave it under channel types. Boom. Click gate. Gate's off. Compressor is off. EQ is off. But one of the cool things about this is, they're here, right? So this is, what are you using this channel for? And for us, this is going to be a vocal. So we have it under vocals. And as you can see right here, we have male 1, male 2, male 3. These are all presets for vocals. Now, Natalie was a female vocalist, obviously. So we could just go here and click, boom, female 1. And as you can see, the gate, the compressor, and the EQ change. Go female 2, the EQ changes a little bit. Female 3, oh, it changed again. Speech 1, speech 2, and then of course males 2 and 3. Now, one of the cool things about this is, let's say you want to know how each one of these sounds, right? Because when you just click it, you can't hear it. You go to here to the audition tablet, and now you can speak into the microphone and get a good feel on how it is, how each one of these works. And we'll just leave it here, right? And then you would click that off, boom, and that's what you got. So and then you can store it, and then this is the easy way to, boom, jump to the next one, right? Oh, it's a guitar, boom, already hit that. Electric bass 1, electric bass 2, slap bass, upright bass. We're just going to go with electric bass 1, boom. Quick, simple, easy way to use a gate, comp, and compressor for each channel. Justin was a guitarist. Metal, done. Amador, and then Amador was the drummer. So let's see, we got kick 1, kick 2. We're just using this as just like the full set. So let's just go overhead rock. Boom, there you go. And then of course you can make your own adjustments here, like boom and whatnot. So yeah, but just overhead rock. Okay. And then you can copy it. You can paste A and B. So that's what these things are. Now, what we have here are the subgroups, right? Boom. A. So now let's go back to Natalie. And we have her sent to A and D. So A here. And I got to talk into this and turn this up. And this will send this this effect, right? This what do we have for A again? A was our digital XL reverb. Okay, so we come here. We have this set on A, sending this much there, and then very important, you come over here to this main fader A FX. And you send this up, plug that up. So now this is being sent to the main. However, and as you can see, it's coming through very, very slightly. Okay, now we go to, what did Natalie have? C, right? We had her on, D. Click here to D. And once again, we want to bring this up. Boop, boop, boop. And once again, we want the main mix. The main mix fader or not the main mix, the overall fader going to the mix sent there. And that way, now we have A and D at zeroed out or at unity going to the main mix. And then that's how you would hear all this stuff. Now, over here, now we click mains. And all this right here is the main, everything that's going out the main mix. Set this at unity. And you want to make sure, yeah. So all these are going here, and set this at unity or wherever it is. Boom. So that way we're going. Now, the main thing, or another question you're probably asking is, all right, cool, we got all that set up. How do I get my in-ears to hear this? Well, so on the back, as you guys can see right here, we have our main in and out. We have our main outs, not in and out, main outs right here for the for the studio rack. And this is what's going to like the to the speakers, you know, this is what the crowd is hearing right here. But now we also have all these 16 auxiliary outputs or mix outputs, right? This is where you would be plugging your IEMs into, right? So you can either do 16 monos or 8 stereo or any combination of mono and stereos that make up to 16 outputs, right? So anyways, let's say Natalie, right? She's going to plug into aux 1 and getting a solo mix. Okay, boom. So we click here, master. Mix masters, click here. And then once again, now we can type in Natalie, you know, come back here. Once again, give her the same color. Pre-fader, we want everything done here before. So what this does here, like I said before, we click pre-fader. Anything you do over here to the main mix faders is not going to affect what happens here. We turn this one up. Okay. Click pre, go here, turn this up, click pre. So now, as you can, barely see it right down there. But now, Natalie can now adjust her own private things. And yeah, so, and as you can see, we changed it here. It says Natalie. It says Natalie here. We are to go here once again and do it again, right? Justin, watch right here. Boom, changes. Justin was red. Pre-fader. So that way, anything that happens before or anything that we do with the front of house speaker mix will not affect what happens to our in-ear mix right here. So that is cool. And as you can see, boom, 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 it goes. So yeah, that is pretty much how this goes, you know. And once again, we have routing, you know, mixer or network. This is going to be all in the routing, right? So yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell. That's how this is going. Now, with that being said, let me go ahead, put this in my rack, get everything set up, and then I'll show you how we use the app and the router, because there are some really cool stuff with that. So I'm going to go ahead and do that right now. All right, guys. So I just got done installing the Studiolive into my rack over there. Over there. It's right there. Over there. Anyways, just got finished. Just got done installing it, as you guys can see. And now it's time to move on to how we control it using apps. Now, there are 2 apps that you can use to control this. Yeah, 2 apps that you can use to control it. However, it all depends on how you want to use this. You can use this as an interface, so that way you can, record or do anything like that, like a regular interface. You can use this as a stage box, being on stage, which is in corresponding to the other version of the Studiolive series, which are the console mixers, like the ones I got over there, like my Behringer mixer, kind of like that. You can use that in conjunction as a stage box, or you can use it like how I'm using it, which is a digital mixer for your in-ear monitoring system. And that's what we're going for today. So let's go ahead and we're going to start off with using, like I said, this has 2 different apps, and we are going to look at both apps separately. So here we go. I got my tablet here, and the first app we're going to want to use is this universal control app right here. Boop. Now, it used to be called UC Surface, but you can find it under universal control. Now, as you guys can see, there's nothing here. First thing we want to do is we want to connect to my wireless router. So I'm going to slide down here. Now, like I said before, you need a wireless router just as an access point to get into the mixer. It doesn't have to be connected to the internet or anything like that. So I have the Swissonic Pro router. We're just going to quickly click to the 5G, wait for it to connect, and it's checking the quality of your internet connection. Boom, connected without internet. That's completely okay. You might get a prompt saying, hey, there's no internet. Do you still want to connect to this? Just say yes. So now we're going to go back to the focus control, and boom, you can see it right there, the Studiolive 32R. So we're going to click on this. It's loading, and boom. Now, as you guys can see, this is pretty much the exact same thing as we did on the computer. It's the exact same software and everything. But as you guys can see, a lot of this is grayed out. We just have the top right here. That are things that we can interact with. So first thing we're going to do is you're going to hit the gear, and as you can see right over here on the left hand side, it says device permissions. Now you have to input an access code. I haven't changed the access code or anything like that right now. I will later, but for right now, you can see that it says default access code is 12345. So we're going to 1 2 3 4 5. Click done, and boom. Now this pops up. You can see we have the Samsung SMT500 Android, and mix, none, change access code, and name, channel types, EQ, blah, 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 blah. We're going to go here, and we're going to go, as you guys can see, we have none, front of house, all auxiliaries, and then auxiliary 1 all the way through the 16. So we're just going to click front of house, because you use this app, this universal control, to control the mixer, right? This is your main mix and everything. And like I said, this is the exact same thing as using the computer software, Like I said, it's exactly the same thing. So everything I said beforehand can go to this. So that's great and everything. How do we control all of this as our in-ear mix? Well, this is sorry about that. Had a weird text message from one of my work colleagues about my job. But anyways, how do we go about using this to control using our in-ear mixes? Okay, well then on my phone, as you guys can see, now we need to go to the second app, which is QMix right here, QMix-UC. And just like before, we're going to want to scroll down, change our Wi-Fi to connect to the router. Once again, Swissonic Pro 5G. Let it obtain the IP address, let it connect. And once again, like you said, see it pops up saying you may not be connected. Always connect, and boom, as you can see it right there, boom, it's a mixer. So we're going to click on that. Now, as you guys can see, no permission set for this device. Once again, this app, the QMix, is solely just to control your in-ear mix, your personal in-ear mix, which is great. This is something I love that the PreSonus crew did. They made this mix, they made this app and allow you only to control certain mixes. But how you get the permissions? Well, you go back here to the settings and boom. Now you see I have a second device here under device permissions, the Samsung SMG996U Android. So we're going to go here and notice there's no front of house mix, so we can't adjust the front of house mix. But let's see. I should be mix 3 in this setup, so we're just going to click aux 3 and boom, you can see right here. Okay, this screen is no longer grayed out. We got my name on it, so we know what mix I'm using. Now, you see we got this me, we have a wheel, and we got a bands. We slide over, and we can see all of the channels scrolling down. Oh. And then we scroll over again, and we have like the group meters. So, what is this? So, let's talk about this. This page right here, this me page, this will of me versus bands. If you just want to hear more of yourself, whatever it is you do, you would scroll up on this and that would turn everything that you do up. So for me, let's go over here. Okay. Let's see. What was what? Let's just say I'm using this microphone. This is me singing. So turn it on, turn off the mute, talk. Okay, so we see for this demonstration, Natalie. So we're just going to click Natalie. Boom. That's added to the me channel or the me group. You're going to go over here, unmute the bass. And boom, okay, Amador. So we're going to click that and boom. Now, both of these are in the me channel. And if I want, and as you can see right there, it's at 50%. If I want more of me, turn it up. If I want less of me, turn it down. Okay, cool. Now we go over here and you see we have these group meters. And you're probably wondering, well, what's groups? Well, groups are essentially like, let's say you want all the guitars together. Boom, you group those up. Say you want the backing tracks and click track. Boom, you put those together. You want all the vocals together. Boom, you put that. But how you go about adding those to the groups? Well, we go all the way back over. Actually, you see, you have to rotate and boom, there you go. You can see as soon as you rotate, we get the channel strip. Okay. And you can see up here, okay, we have G1, G2 is highlighted, G3, and G4. G1, right? You see the color associated with it? Well, let's just go 6, 7, 8. Oh, G2 is white, so let's just go 2, 2 and 3. G3 is 5, and let's go 9, and then G4, 10, and 11. Now, you're probably wondering, how come I didn't highlight channels 1 and 4? Well, that's because they're already in the me group, and you can only have these channels be in one group. So not only can you make individual adjustments here, like, okay, I want the voice to be at unity, I want this to be here. And if you look here on the main screen, if I go to wills, all right, anything I make here, any adjustments, boom, you see it's being made right here too. So, and as you can see right here, because I'm adjusting both of these, they're adjusting at the same time. Now, if I go here, you have to have groups on, right? But if I turn groups off, now I can adjust everything individually, and then I can turn groups back on, you know, and yeah, that's how you would control. Oh, that's how you would control in your mixes. I would highly recommend, you know, setting all your levels first, gain staging first, and then turning groups on. And then once again, you go back here to the will of me. If you want more, turn it up. Boop. You want less, turn it down. And this band metrics right here on the other side shows you in correspondence, you know, the difference, like the different loudness. And once again, up top, you have the mute all, so you can mute all and see how it pops up. Now, the good thing about this, like I said, is this only controls Will's aux. So let's say I go over here to Justin, right? You can see everything is still down low here, right? And if I make adjustments here to channels 6, 7, and 8, it's not doing anything to Justin, to Natalie, to the master mix, only to Will. And like I said, this is the great thing about this app, is that there's always someone in the band that will forget to check to make sure they are adjusting the right mix. And sometimes they might be adjusting the front of house mix. Go back here to main. And once again, no adjustments are being made. That's how you control the digital mixer with the apps. And it is amazing. It is really great. Now, I love this digital rack mixer, although I haven't been able to use it just yet at a show, but have been able to use it at practice for some time, or not some time, for a couple of practices, like literally 2 practices, and it's really awesome. So yeah, that's all there is to it, to the PreSonus Studiolive SE 32R digital rack mixer. I know that's a mouthful, but I'm just going to call it the 32R from now on. But yeah, it's a great mixer. It does cost a lot, and this is the newer version. There is, like I said, an older version, which is the Studiolive 32R. That whole series, you know, we got the 16, the 24, and the 32R, and then we got the 16, 32, and 24 SE. And like I said, the SEs are the new version that have more perks and different things, you know, just newer technology. Now, I haven't been able to do a live recording session yet, because you're able to do live recording. And I did get an SD card. And so be looking for another video in the future about that coming up. But that's all the time we have for today, because apparently something's going off at work that really needs my attention. So until next time, guys, I'm Black Boy, and remember, keep practicing.